What's going on, Fragrance family? This is Tyler, Simply Fragrances, and today I've got a little bit of a fragrance battle for you guys today. So if you want to see what this video is all about, be sure and keep it right here. Alright guys, welcome back. Like I said, my name is Tyler. This is my channel, Simply Fragrances, where we talk everything fragrance related. If this is your first time here, be sure and hit that red subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love and support you've shown. So, really excited guys. So, I got the new sample pack from Scentual Obsessions. Beautiful packaging, by the way. And I've got two of his fragrances up against the OGs. So, I'm going to show this off here just real quick. I do have my samples set out over here, but the fragrances do sit inside this beautiful cushion pouch, little almost like a cubby that they sit into. So real nice, firm, don't have to worry about anything being broken or anything like that. The packaging is awesome on this, guys. So Kevin is really stepping his game up with these presentations and really impressed. So he did send me 6. I really do appreciate that. I only asked for 2 and he wound up sending a little sample pack, so I do really appreciate the extras included. Really do appreciate that, man. So he included King Smoke, which is his version of an older batch of Aventus Wood Carver. We do have Heaven, which is his version of Elysium from Roja, and then Triangle, which is his version of Tribeca from Bond Number 9. And then the ones I requested was Florida Waves. Hopefully you can see this here. I don't know if it'll focus in or not, but Florida Waves, which is his take on Oceania from Roja. And then I do have Italian Riviera from in his version of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, which I have a little sample of right here. But I wanted to go over the packaging because I was really impressed with this. They used to come in these little pouches, which were super awesome. They'd come in a little, like a black cloth pouch, and it was really impressive. But this is a step up, so great job on that. Really do appreciate this, man. Thank you so much for that. So, but let's go ahead and get into the fragrances. All right, guys. So getting into the first couple fragrances, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Roja Oceania versus Kevin's Florida Waves. So I do have the original and then his version here. I do have some sample strips that I'm going to use now. Normally on a battle, if it was my first time trying these, I would definitely go on skin, and I did when I first sprayed these. But we have a dinner at my mother-in-law's tonight, and I didn't want to spray 4 different fragrances on my skin and just give her a headache because she is very sensitive to fragrances. And so both of these are, pretty potent. So let's go ahead and get a test strip here. So I'll spray the Oceania on this one right here. Boom, give a nice little spritz there. Put this off to the side, and then I'm going to mark it with an R so that way I know exactly which one is which. And then I'm going to get Kevin's here, which give you guys a little shot of the atomizer here. Great distribution as I spray on my hand like I didn't necessarily want to. I love the fragrance. I'm not opposed to wearing it. My mother-in-law is very sensitive when it comes to fragrances, so I'll have to do something about that, and I'll put an S for Scentual Obsessions. So let's go ahead and dive in. Actually, real quick before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm going to read off some of the notes to Oceania so that way you kind of know what to expect. So in the top, you're going to get lavender, grapefruit, mandarin orange, bergamot, lemon, lime, rosemary, thyme, and Cubea? I've never heard of that. That's interesting. And then in the mids, you get violet, geranium, jasmine, ylang ylang, and then jasmine. And then the base notes, you get cedar, musk, moss, iris, juniper berries, vetiver, sandalwood, benzoin, vanilla, galbanum, and labdanum. So literally a laundry list. Everything but the kitchen sink is thrown into this. So that's kind of what you can expect from Oceania and obviously Florida Waves. Now, let's get these two here. So Roja and then Scentual. So whenever you first open up with the Roja, you're going to think, how in the world did you get this aquatic type of vibe with this without having any aquatic or marine notes? It is insane what Roja has done with this. This is one of my favorites from the house, if not my favorite. I don't know. I go back and forth between this one and a couple others. I really do like Apex as well, and then Burlington 1819. But this one, I do think it's the most wearable from the house. But when you open up, you get a blast of that citrus. You get the bergamot, the lemon, the lime, the mandarin orange. You do get that rosemary. kind of gives it a green facet into it, and then you get the jasmine, you get the floral notes, obviously you get the ylang ylang, kind of gives it like this creamy kind of facet, but you do get a lot of florals in here. And what's crazy about this is it's unisex, but I do think that it leans just a tad bit on the feminine side with the floral notes in here. I have a buddy, many of you know Austin, who I run my business with. I gave him a sample of this and he loves it, but he says it's a little bit too feminine on his skin, and I kind of agree. But what's awesome is with Kevin's, you get the scent profile. He has nailed it. Like, let's just get that out of the way. It smells like Oceania. You're not going to be guessing what this smells like. This is a spot on rendition scent profile wise. Now, what is different about it in my nose, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, is the citruses are a bit amped up. You get a lot more of a powerful punch whenever you spray the Florida Waves. And like I said, that's not a bad thing. It's just a little bit more amped up and intense. And what he has done, at least to my nose with this, is he's taken the floral aspects and just kind of toned them down just a little bit. At least that's how it comes off of my nose. Upon wearing this, I've wore it for, I want to say, close to 4 or 5 days now. Every day just kind of, seeing how it performs. Different days you have different vibes. But every time I've wore this, I don't get quite as much of that floral aspect to it. And I love that. So, if I were to say that one would lean more masculine and one more feminine, I would say that the Oceania leans just a tad bit on the feminine side with some of those geranium and the ylang ylang and the jasmine, whereas Kevin's, I don't have the note breakdown, but I can just tell that it's a bit more if I would have to choose on the masculine side. But overall performance and not performance, overall scent profile wise, he has nailed this, guys. Like, this is, in my opinion, other than the citruses being amped up, and yeah, there's a bit of a quality difference, like not knocking Kevin on that at all, but when you get a Roja, you're paying $400 or $500 for a Roja, so you expect the quality to be there. But with how close Kevin has got with this, it's absolutely insane, guys. So obviously there's a tiny bit of a quality difference, and it's not in the sense of one smells necessarily better than the other, but I would say maybe the Roja is just a tiny bit smoother, and that just could be because with the citrus is being amped up a little bit, so it's a little bit more astringent. But Kevin's really nailed this, guys. So if you guys want a great alternative or a rendition of Roja's Oceania, definitely recommend this. Now, getting into the performance and longevity, this stuff is crazy off my skin. It is almost borderline beast mode performance. So I did 2 sprays whenever I first got this, and my wife was like, "What are you wearing?" And I said, "Oh, my buddy Kevin, he had sent this to me." And she goes, "That is way too strong. How many sprays did you do?" And I said, "I think I did 2." And she goes, "That's giving me a headache with how strong that is." I mean, granted, I just sprayed it and I went and sat down by her on the couch, so it was definitely pumping. But guys, that really didn't change, honestly. Like, it continued to have super amazing performance, at least off of my skin. So on my buddy Austin, it did very, very well on his as well. Not quite as much, but for some reason, citrusy, like musky florals, they kind of just they just last on my skin, and they pump on my skin. Anything that has any kind of like a floral aspect to it, it lingers and it just projects like a beast on my skin. So with me, I got every bit, guys, of 2.5 hours of solid projection, like beast mode performance. And then after that, I don't even want to say it became closer to the skin. I was still pushing out a good probably 5 to 6 inches off of my skin, and I had a nice beautiful scent trail, nice beautiful scent bubble around me, and I was being able to be smelled all day. And that's just off of 2 sprays, guys. So other people, they've said they don't get quite the performance off of that or the longevity. For me, longevity wise, I get every bit of 8 to 10 hours. Mileage is going to vary with every different person. So overall, great performance, great longevity, and the compliment factor is there. It's very, very versatile. It's, kind of anytime, anywhere, but I do recommend both of these fragrances if you wanted to pick one of them up to be, it's more of a spring and summer vibe. It invokes that fresh zestiness that you get from the citruses, and it kind of it puts you in the mindset of, being on the beach, with a name like Florida Waves. It just kind of has this beach mentality behind it. But overall, great rendition. And in my opinion, if you want a more, I don't want to say super masculine, but if you just want a more masculine take on Oceania, I would go with Kevin's. And obviously, guys, for the price difference, it's insane what quality you're getting for the price difference. So definitely recommend that. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. All right, guys, so getting into the Neroli Portofino versus Italian Riviera, wanted to go ahead and pull up the notes for you guys. So in Neroli Portofino, in the top, you're going to get bergamot, mandarin orange, lemon, bitter orange, lavender, rosemary, and myrtle. In the mid, you get African orange flowers, neroli, jasmine, and in the base, you get amber, ambrit, musk, and angelica. So with this fragrance, guys, that's what you can expect with the Italian Riviera and obviously the Neroli Portofino. So I had to have it labeled here, T for Tom Ford, and then I'll have S for Scentual Obsessions. So I'll give a little spritz here. Get that wave off there real quick, and then get Kevin's going here. And like I said, guys, I have wore both of these before shooting this video to give a full review on these. So nice distribution on Kevin's. Go ahead and put this up here. So now, what do you get out of these fragrances? So with Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, Kevin actually had some big shoes to fill because this is one of my all-time favorite summer fragrances. I don't have a bottle just because of the performance factor and the price value. If it was literally $100, like, I mean, it still wouldn't be worth the performance factor, but the smell alone is worth it to me. So if it was like $100 to $120, I would still get it. But with the price point, even for the 50 mLs, it's ridiculous, guys. So I've never gotten a bottle, even though this is one of my all-time favorite summertime fragrances. And so whenever I asked Kevin to get this one, and he said yes, that just it made me ecstatic because Kevin has done so good on this, guys. This is, man, it's really hard to put like a number, you know what I mean, on like what percent would you call it, guys. I would say on a safe bet, I would say it's in that 95 to 99% percentile, because like, to get 100% on a fragrance is, one, pretty almost impossible, and two, if you did, then you would have that fragrance, you know what I mean. There's always going to be a little bit of a variant. So if something is between, like, honestly, 80 to 95% close, to me, they did an amazing job. And Kevin has done an amazing job on this. So what's beautiful about Kevin's versus the Neroli Portofino is, on the Neroli Portofino, I get more of that floral aspect in the top versus the citruses. The citruses are there, but you get this green floral vibe with that jasmine in there, but you really don't get a lot of like the citrus burst like you might think, because I mean, it's got a lot of orange and stuff in there, and you definitely get the orange, but it's not like a punch you in the face kind of orange. It's a very subdued, subtle orange. But with Kevin's, you get the floral aspect that I love, because I mean, I love jasmine, honestly. It's one of my all-time favorite notes. But you get the brighter citruses up top. I can smell the orange way better on this one, and it's fantastic. It literally, it is so good, guys. So what's crazy is I actually prefer Kevin's over the Tom Ford. Like, it is, to me, it's better. You get a stronger projection, you get a stronger presence of the citruses up top, and you do get the floral aspect. Jasmine, like I said, one of my all-time favorite notes. And so whenever something has jasmine in it, it excites me. It has that jasmine, and I can smell it. It's there, but you also get the citruses up top. And I think Kevin just really knocked it out of the park with this, guys. This, man, they're so stinking close, and even as they dry down, they get closer, guys. So so good. So if you guys want a great rendition of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, I definitely recommend Italian Riviera. The price point versus the projection and longevity, guys, it's there. It's insane. So with Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, I'm getting realistically anywhere from about 4 to maybe 6 hours, and that's pushing it, guys. With Kevin's version, I get anywhere from that 5 to 8 hours. I know that's kind of a broad spectrum, but depending on what sprays that I do and depending on the temperature, if it's a little bit cooler out outside, I don't really smell it as long. It doesn't project as much, but we had some really nice days this past week. I got up in like the 75, 78s, and it really did push out. That heat really did help those oils, and even with the Neroli Portofino, in the dead heat of summer, I'm not getting more than about 6 hours, guys. But with Kevin's, definitely longer projection and longer longevity, guys. This stuff, it's not going to reach out and punch you in the face, but it's definitely no slouch when it comes to performance. This stuff is absolutely amazing, guys, and in my opinion, it's in that 95 to 99%. I mean, like, how do you judge a 4% difference? You know what I mean? So it smells like Neroli Portofino. So for the price point, for the value, for the longevity, for everything, I'm going with Kevin's, guys. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. I want to thank Kevin once again for sending these. Be sure and go check out Kevin. I will have his website linked down below. You know, he's an incredible guy, awesome guy, really loves the community, and has been a part of the fragrance community for a good while now. So if you haven't checked him out, be sure and go do so. Pay him a visit. He'll get you taken care of, guys. But let me know down below, guys, have you tried anything from Scentual Obsessions? And if so, what's your favorite? If you've tried these, let me know. What do you think, guys? So I'm going to catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you on the next video. And remember, if you love it, wear it.